Hi all, let's consider adding the track to XMotor Racing. We have here a 3D model of the track we want to add to the game. Removing unnecessary objects. XMotor Racing supports one main texture per object to improve performance. We must convert all multi-material objects to single materials ones. We can automate this process using this script that can be found on the forum. Loading the script and adding to the toolbar. The script is ready. Select any multi-material objects and press the button Detach. We can select several or all multi-material objects to convert them at once. Let's do that. The track is ready to convert to XMR Editor. Exporting to XMR Editor as a TDO object. TDO is a single file that must be converted to a WLD project. WLD means world. Launch XMR Editor and open our track as a TDO file. We can see nothing because textures are not loaded and not found in the current directory. Toggle on the wireframe mode. This mode is useful for looking for untextured objects. We can see our track in the wireframe mode. Open Pack Textures for the track. Now we can see textured objects except for some untextured ones in the center. We will fix that a bit later. Open additional textures like bump and normal maps, skydome textures, etc. Toggle off the wireframe mode. Let's calculate all normals because 3ds Max can contains wrong normals. Right normals are very important for physics engine and lighting. Increase movement step to move faster. Let's survey the track. Convert the TDO file to a world. World is a world project is being used for tracks because of optimization. Enter number of blocks for the track. This track is quite small and 8x8 are quite enough. For bigger tracks we must enter greater numbers of blocks to get better optimization. Name of the project. Converting. After converting we can find our WLD project in the folder. Close the XMR editor and open it again to open the WLD project. Load textures because they are not loaded. After loaded skydome or skybox textures we can that the sky is black. We will fix that. Insert a skydome object. Skydome is an object with a radius of 1 meter and must be located in the center of the scene. Let's look for the skydome object. Select it from the list of all objects. Hide unselected objects. It must be somewhere in the center of the scene. We should move faster. Here it is. Unhide all objects because we know where the skydome is located. Find and apply skydome textures to day, sunset and night. XMR uses blending between them during period of transition. Choose the texture in the texture manager and press the Get Text button for the day, sunset, night and sunrise skydomes. The skydome object must have the standard name as skydome. A file name is not the same as an object name. Be careful here. Then apply skybox material to the skydome object, adjusting the lighting material. I prefer to use only emission component as skydome. It's noticeable at night especially. Set to 0 ambient, diffuse and specular components. And set to 1 emission component. Enabling HDR and fixing intensity values. You must enter new values for day, night and sunset sunrise cases separately. Let's check out transition between day and night without HDR. On the right part you can see the properties of the global source of light. On the left one you can see all lighting materials. It works. Toggle off the wireframe mode. Let's apply some texture to the untextured objects. We can see the polygons don't have any applied textures. Applying any random textures. Frankly, it is not a good variant. Let's find more appropriate texture. This looks better. Apply the texture to several selected objects at once. It looks better. Now it's time to remove all unnecessary objects and add additional properties to all objects. Select all objects with this textures and delete all of them. Then delete these objects. It's time to make the look of the trees better. Select all objects with the current texture to save time. Apply a quick preset for the trees. Repeat it to all trees. It's possible to do it for each object separately, but it takes a long time. Let's move faster to work quicker. Do it again and again for all objects. Let's hide it. And these objects also. Unnecessary object must be deleted. Let's apply it to the spectators. And to the fence. It's also possible to define alpharef values for each object to get better result. Just this fence looks nice with the default alpharef values. In-flight view to find next objects. Unnecessary objects must be deleted. The leads look uncompleted. Let's add alpha channel influence to them, glass, mask. Let's choose the glass with two side of rendering. That means reverse side will be visible. Well, it looks better but not good enough. One of the best choices for trees is using only ambient component and subtle diffuse and specular components. Seems it looks better. Adjust the road lighting material. Select all road objects and assign road lighting material to them. And adjust it now. Well, the preliminary variant is ready. We worked on the graphics only. It's time to adjust physics properties to all main objects like road, gravel, fences, etc. Select all road objects by the texture name and enable their physics and add the physics surface as an asphalt, then hide it. And this must be gravel. And curb. Repeat these steps to all objects that should be active in the physics engine. That's enough for a start. It's time to adjust the HDR for sunrise and night. Night sky dome looks oddly. Let's fix it. We must decrease the intensity values for the night HDR. XMR uses interpolation between day and sunset values and then between sunset and night ones. It covers lighting, materials, fog and HDR values. Night looks better now. Here we can adjust the road lighting material for night only. Let's add a little of blue. The road uses only diffuse texture. It's possible to add specular and bump maps to it. Let's add a specular map at first. Let's try this texture. Changing material and adding specular map. Then we must set the default texture's coordinates for the specular map layer. Let's load a texture pack with the bump maps. It looks nice. Select all road objects with the current texture and add the bump map texture to all of them. Then we need to define the texture coordinates for the bump map layer. Changing the height of the bump, we can get various effects. Let's survey the track. Now it's time to add the start grid and checkpoints. Don't forget to save it and make backups. Adding the start-finish line. The start-finish line is a line with AI path and start and finish options. It's being used for laps counting. Now we must add a start grid. First position, then second, third, etc. Adding some checkboxes. Animation is an important part to make the track alive. Let's add some animated spectators. Open the Object Insertion Manager and add spectators to the list. You can add them separately, but the Object Insertion Manager is more convenient sometimes. Select the object and add it to the scene by clicking. Mark the types of objects to which we can add the spectator. Adding another animated person. Changing the type of all selected road objects to road. It can be useful sometimes. The track is ready to be exported to the game. It took us 40 minutes only. Later we can polish and make it better. Visit our forum at www.jmotorracing.com if you have any questions. Thanks.